Hi all, today we are going to discuss about voltage balance differential relays. So in the last two lectures we have gone for the current differential relays. So these current differential relays are convenient when the both ends of the protected elements are very close together. Like for example, for the case of generators, motors, transformers and bus bars which are of the smaller size, so the distance between two elements will be small. So let us take the example. So I am taking the CT. So I am just repeating the connections which we have made. So this is my protected, that element to be protected. So the secondaries of the CTs are connected together using the pilot wires. So these are my pilot wires, and here the coil is connected. I am taking the simple differential relay. So these are my pilot wires. So in these pilot wires, because the current is passing like this is my current I1, and in the secondary side this is my current I2. So these currents are continuously passing through these pilot wires. So as the currents are continuously passing through the pilot wires, so the pilot wire resistance, we can tell that R is equal to rho into L divided by area, where the L is equal to 2 times the distance between these two ends. So let us assume the distance between these two ends I am representing by capital D. This will becomes 2 times the distance. So because of this, the resistance of these lines will be very high if the length is increased. If the size is very small, then there is no issue. But let us take the case if I want to protect a fader. Generally fader will be in kilometers. So when you are going for very large value in kilometers, so the resistance increases drastically. So when the resistance is increased drastically, there will be continuous I square R losses in your pilot wires, because this current that is passing in the secondary side under normal operating conditions will be, because we already discussed that CT secondary is generally rated for 5 amperes. So continuously 5 amperes will pass through them. This 5 ampere square multiplied by resistance is passing through them, and under fault conditions these currents are extremely high, so the losses are extremely high. So this entire power should be supplied from the primary only. So this introduces the huge burden on your current transformers. I am repeating once again, due to the resistance of the pilot wires, if the length is small, the effect of the resistance of pilot wire is nothing, even though the 5 amperes are passing through them. But as the length is increased, the I square R losses, because as the length is increased, automatically resistance increases. The I square R increases drastically as the length is increased. So the length is increased, so it is increasing drastically. That's why this system or this scheme of protection cannot be employed for the case of faders. So for faders, we have to go for some other type of protection. So I am just repeating this once again, then we will proceed further. For fader protection of several kilometers long, the secondary current of greater than or equal to 5 amperes flows through the pilot wires of high resistance. So this burden is impractical for any economic design of the CT. So this is the for the case of the overcurrent differential relay, which we have discussed in our previous class. So now we are going for our voltage differential protection. For the case of voltage differential protection, the connection will be done like this. This is my one side, this is my secondary side. So there is my CT1 and here there is another CT. Let us take it as CT2, and this is my element to be protected. So this is protected system element. So the connections are made in such a way that the secondary side, let us assume the current under normal conditions, that means either under normal conditions or under external fault conditions. So this is my current I2, so there is a fault here, so external fault. So the secondary side, no current should circulate. That means they are connected in series opposition. So series opposition means this will be connected like this. So this is connected through the relay coil and connected to the primary side of this one. And similarly, this one is also connected like this. It will be connected through the relay coil and connected here. So this is my relay, and this is also relay element. So under normal operating conditions, now what happens? Let us assume the secondary side currents is equal to I1 here, and in this side the current I2 will pass like this, because I2 will pass like this. So this is my direction of I1, this is my direction of I2. So the net current that is passing will be equal to I1 minus I2. Agree with me? So when the fault is happening in the external side, this I1 minus I2 will be equal to 0. So this will be equal to 0 for the case of external faults. That means no circulating currents will pass in the relay, as the currents are not circulating under normal operating conditions or external faults. Because current is equal to 0, so the relays will not operate. That means the relays are connected in series opposition. That means the voltages are induced such that because of the difference in the voltages between these two will be equal to 0. They are connected in such a way. So let us take for example, EMF induced in this one is E1 and EMF induced in this one is E2. So E1 minus E2 will be equal to 0 under normal operating conditions. So now when the fault happens in the inside, so that means for the case, this is my CT. This is my CT, some internal fault has happened. So the current I1 is passing here, let us assume the current I2 is passing. So there is some internal fault. So when the internal fault happens, again these things, relay elements are connected like this, and this one also, there is a relay element in the sending end and relay element in the receiving end. So this is my relay and this is my relay. So whenever the internal fault happens, for this internal fault the I1 will not be equal to I2. So because of this, the EMFs that are induced, this is my EMF E1, let us take this EMF as E2. So because of this, E1 will not be equal to E2, therefore the current circulates in the secondary of the CTs. So as the current circulates in the secondary of the CT, so that will pass through your relay and relay will operate. Generally problem comes practically whenever the fault conditions, because the CT may get saturated or the improper characteristics of the CT, always there will be some difference in the EMFs and always there will be some difference in the currents even under normal or fault conditions. So that's why the relay should not operate for the case of normal or faults that are happening in the external circuit. So in order to avoid that, the relays that are used are overcurrent relays. That means they are overcurrent relays, they will operate only if the current crosses some threshold. So that is the basic thing you have to take care. And second one, you should take care that the EMF induced in the secondary are proportional to EMF, the current that is passing through the primary. Because depending on how much current is passing in the primary, accordingly the EMF should induced in the secondary. This current and this EMF should have the linear characteristics. So in order to get the linear characteristics for the throughout the range, so the whatever the core is designed, that core should have the linear characteristics for the entire range even under the fault conditions. So to get that one, we generally go for the air cored CTs. The CTs are of air core type. So let me discuss the one by one point. The relays are connected in series with the pilot wires, one at each end. Two relays will be used. The relative polarities of the CTs are such that no current flows in the pilot wires under normal operating conditions and even the external faults or through faults. The voltage induced in the secondary of CT must be proportional to the primary current even under the fault conditions, because both the EMFs induced in the secondary are same. That's why because of difference in the potential it will not operate. That's why the name came voltage balanced differential relay. So voltages are balanced in the secondary side such that no current will pass under normal operating conditions. So in order to get that linear characteristics, so we generally go for air cored CTs. The CT core is made up of air. So because that air holes are made in the core of the CT, so that the CT will be linear. So this we have already discussed in the design of CT and PT or instrument transformers for the case of the protection. So this I discussed in chapter number 1. You can please refer there. So for internal faults, the voltage of secondaries of the CTs are different and hence current passes through the relay coils and operates the relay. But to avoid the mal-operation due to mismatch in characteristic of the CT, the relays are overcurrent type and operate when the current crosses some threshold value, so that the problem of mal-operation will not happen. And the advantage of this system is no restraining coil is required and no balancing resistors are required in this because they are connected in series opposition. So these things are not required, and restraining is not required because that is compensated by providing an overcurrent relay. Only if the current crosses some limit only it will operate. So restraining coil is also not required. But there is one disadvantage of this scheme. The disadvantage of this scheme is now because the CT secondary side current is equal to 0. Because we have shown that when the CTs are open circuited, I have discussed in the transformers, what happen if the CT secondaries are open circuited. Open circuit means no current is passing in the secondary. So that leads to saturation of your core. Your core will get completely saturated. That is one disadvantage. And second disadvantage, the secondary side impedance will be referred to the primary side. So it introduced huge impedance in the circuit. So we cannot avoid this high impedance that is introduced in the circuit, but the second problem of saturation of the core can be avoided by going for the air core. So by using the air core, the first disadvantage is overcome, but still there is second disadvantage is now overcome in this method. That is because of open circuited secondary, this high value of the virtual impedance or your burden is introduced in the primary of your relay because secondary resistance referred to the primary. So that resistance will be connected in series with your system. That is the only disadvantage of this system. So that proper care should be taken that the effect of this open circuiting secondary or the secondary burden on the primary side should be as minimum as possible. So that care should be taken. I hope the voltage balance differential relay is completely clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you. Thank you very much.